San Diego Prep Insider. I am your host, Christian Pedersen. I am joined in studio by Dave Ring at DR Player Development. Dave, since you're the only one here today, let's zoom you in. Let's give you that like tight cropped ISO shot. There we go. Looking ominous with your hat. Dave is going to be bringing you Dave's Dingers later in the show.
Oh, you know that.
All things San Diego high school baseball. On the Zoom, we're joined by Tommy Morris at Real Tommy Morris on social media. Tommy is joining us.
Hi, Tommy.
To share his game balls, as well as I think we can maybe on the spot ask you guys for some playoff favorites, some early champion favorites.
There's definitely been some league champs.
We are also joined in the chat by Bodie Da Silva, who, if Dave, you want to explain do your introduction for Bodie.
Bo D. That's just easy enough.
You're saying the first two initials.
First two.
And then the first two initials.
Yeah.
Combine them are still his first name.
It's still his first
Correct.
name.
His name is Bodie Da Silva.
Bodie.
Technically, you're all wrong because my first name is James. So.
Yes.
Okay. So James Bodie. Bodie.
Bodie joins us on behalf of Scorebook Live, the official digital content provider of the entire universe of high school sports.
He does it all.
Bodie actually does do it all. He is the only employee there at Scorebook Live,
and he's got the greatest polls of all time.
Oh, wow. Better than our polls?
They're the GOAT. They are popular.
Fair enough.
Hey, not everyone thinks so I'll take it.
Bodie, as we mentioned, he's with Scorebook Live. You can check out everything Scorebook Live is doing at SB Live. CA is the local account. Scorebook Live also has a fantastic app that you need to check out. As always, we want to say thank you from the top to the U.S. Marines for their support of San Diego Prep Insider. Couldn't get it done without them. Guys, talk about a little baseball today, talk about a little game balls, talk about a little dingers, talk about some championship history being made here in the San Diego CIF section. A lot of different places to start. Bodie, can we get your baseball top 10? If I understand correctly, more chaos has ensued this week.
Yeah, at this point, the only one I've kind of felt good about, and it's why they started the season as number one for me, is Granite Hills. They're definitely peaking at the right time, playing their best baseball. Double-digit streak, I think 4 or 5 games in a row now with double-digit runs, and they beat Grossmont, Steel Canyon, and Helix last week, and they're playing well. They locked up the league title, and as far as my math goes, they will be the number 1 seed in the open division. After that is Rancho Bernardo, but as we've talked about, things keep changing, and they lost 1-0 yesterday. Santana at number 3, they lost yesterday. Madison at number 4, they, like Granite Hills, seem to be playing their best baseball at the right time. If they beat Point Loma today, they can capture the Western League. La Costa Canyon at number 5, they beat Rancho Bernardo yesterday, so definitely on the upswing. Torrey Pines at number 6, they beat Carlsbad, and with the help of La Costa Canyon, are the outright North County Coastal League champions. Francis Parker at number 7, they did have their 19-game winning streak come to an end, but they are still a great team that looks to not just be good this season, but for years to come, with 2 freshmen at the top of that order. Montgomery at number 8, a really impressive win over Eastlake, which included a no-hitter that captured them the Metro Mesa League title. Helix definitely on the upswing here, coming in at number 9, another big win over Steel Canyon yesterday. And San Marcos at number 10. Some obviously tough injury news we've talked about with Ryan Rivera being out for the season, but they can hit, and I would expect them to certainly be in the mix in the open division.
Tommy, do you have a top 10?
Don't.
All right, fair enough. Dave, your top 10.
All right, you got it. I'll take over for Team O. Very similar to to Bo D, but I'm going to put Granite Hills at number 1 for sure, and then I've got to be honest, I think that Saints is still the number 2 team, so I got them at number 2 right now. Number 3, I've got Santana. Like you said, Bodie, tough loss yesterday to Grossmont. Grossmont absolutely hammered the baseball. Happens. So any given day, the bats are alive, and that happens. So I've got, let's see here. I've got Rancho Bernardo here at number 4. I've got Torrey at number 5, Parker at 6, Madison at 7, La Costa at 8. Montgomery, at number 9, they have a chance to win league this year. and a really solid team that I'm going to talk about in my game balls. I'm going to hook them up with some game balls today, a really solid squad. And Del Norte, for me, is still 21-7 right now. I think a team that has a chance to really do some damage here in the playoffs.
Who's the more feel-good story? Or, okay, I want to preface this question without it sounding like an insult, but there's two teams, Canyon Crest and Del Norte, that I think right now are at a point where you could sort of be like, both of those teams could be the feel-good story of the year or the Cinderella or the sweetheart or whatever it is that you want to say. If you had to pick between between CCA and Del Norte, who is the feel-good story right now?
Yeah, I agree, man. I think that's if those are my only two options, I would take Del Norte for sure. And also you got to give a shout out to Patrick Henry. There's 19-7, man. I mean, they also have a shot to be, that's probably one of the best records I've seen them have in the last couple of years. So got a shot to do really well in the playoffs. So Del Norte is a really good, we see Canyon Crest having constant draft picks and guys that are throwing 90. And I think Del Norte is a team that has kind of just got a bunch of seniors and really putting it all together again. And yeah, they've had some tough losses, but boy, I think them and Patrick Henry, really 19-7 for Patrick Henry, 21-7 for Del Norte.
All right, so you're throwing Patrick Henry into the mix instead of answering the question. Bodie, Tommy, either of you guys care to weigh in?
I'll go with Canyon Crest. I just feel like any time a school, and this might be me thinking football-minded too much, so maybe a little bit biased here, but anytime a school does not have a football team, you tend to not think of that school as a sports school. But Canyon Crest has always had solid teams in basketball and baseball, and so anytime they're up there in the rankings, I think it's kind of impressive. And one of those Cinderella stories, whether they should be called that or not, it always gives off that vibe a little bit.
Yeah, to me, it's Canyon Crest as well. I mean, they're 19-8. They haven't played their best baseball as the league's gone on, but you look around at their district with Torrey Pines, La Costa Canyon, San Diego. When they played La Costa Canyon, they beat them 1-0. When they played Torrey Pines, they beat them 2-0. Those are huge wins for a school like Canyon Crest that typically people look at and, they can't compete with the Torrey Pines, the La Costa Canyons, because the other schools care more about sports, but they've shown they can. And I would expect them to make a playoff run.
Don't forget about Mission Hills. Mission Hills is 20-8. I would say they're and La Jolla Country Day 19-9. Man.
Well, okay, so you're doing a different segment now, though. You're doing just who are OLI out, underdogs that you don't want to sleep on, and that's great. Not the initial question, though.
Should have been in the mix
for the feel good story.
In your question,
we can see the feel good story and OLI dark horse. Those feel like different lists. We can do OLI dark
feel good stories for sure.
Fair enough. Tommy Morris. Game balls? Yes? No? You're ready to go?
Yeah,
all right.
4 of them. Can I go?
Yes, that was the general filibustering transition to get you dialed in. And
a sick transition. So we talked about Canyon Crest. How about we talk about Kian Sanchez from Canyon Crest? 5-game hit streak going on, 11 for 19, 5 RBIs, a home run, and 6 doubles during that streak. So he has been hot for the Ravens. We talked about Patrick Henry. How about Talon Gardini? Patrick Henry, 32 strikeouts in his last 3 starts. Very impressive young pitcher there for the Patriots. Going to Hoover, Marco Lopez. This is kind of a crazy series he had against Crawford. So 3-game series. He was 11 for 12. He had 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, and 4 home runs, which is very cool because it's like 2 doubles, which is like a 2-base thing, and 3 triples, which is a 3-base thing, and then 4 home runs, which is a 4-base thing. Pretty sweet. Kind of weird.
Whoa.
I don't think it'll ever happen again.
That's,
yeah, I know. I know. When I was taking those notes down, I was like, that's kind of impressive. He also had 17 RBIs in those 3 games as well. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen that?
Maybe you just intentionally walk him when he comes up to base, regardless of who's on.
Yeah, maybe at that point, maybe. And then finally at Maranatha, it's Levi Ham, who went ham against Escondido Charter. He pitched 5 innings scoreless, and then he had 2 home runs and 8 RBIs in 1 game. So
a full ham bone shot.
Yeah.
Went ham, got ham.
Those are my 4.
Makes me, and then he turns the camera on after the segment.
Well, I can't read because I'm doing it on my phone, so I can't read. And sorry, I can't read at the same time. I apologize.
The ham bone gone makes me think a lot about when we used to do Play of the Week. It makes me miss Tommy's authentic Play of the Week calls.
I'm available for those anytime.
We need to get more organized on that once football, like for the next season when things roll back around. We need to get more organized on that. Dave also, I feel bad because Dave ultimately gets the dingers first. So it would be just us pirating Dave's content to do it all baseball season. And I'm not trying to start a turf war with our two best baseball analysts. Dave Ring from DR Player Development. You got your game balls. These are not your dingers. Don't do your changing of lists into different versions of your shows thing.
You got to give everyone love.
Yes, but that's why. Okay, game balls, take it away.
There we go. All right. Like we said, we got to highlight some guys over at Montgomery having a fantastic year. Aldo Camargan, he's hitting .351. He's got a .415 on-base percentage. Jose Mendoza, .338. Average. Aaron Herrera, he's hitting .296. He's got a .405 on-base percentage. So, you got a lot of guys that are getting on base. These guys pitch and play defense really well. I mean, defense is probably, one of the top in the county. They've got Khalil Perez at catcher. He's got a homer this year. Wanted to highlight him. He's their backstop guy that really owns, the defense, and and they do steal bases too. So, from what I see, they're run the bases well. So, congrats to the Stars on Montgomery, the guys that are doing really well this year. I also wanted to highlight some guys over at Francis Parker. We've talked about some of the younger guys on their team. Tyler Wick, he's a Oregon commit. But I wanted to highlight Ben Gadoy. He's hitting .459. I mean, the dude's got like 40-something hits. On-base percentage with like a .571 on-base percentage. So there's a reason why these guys win games. Their whole squad is on base. Jacob Campagna, .578 on-base percentage. And when you look at it, they're also, like Montgomery, they're really aggressive on the base paths. I've seen a couple steals at home from them. Chris Williams, their outfielder, has 9 stolen bases. So, when it comes down to it, Francis Parker is also going to pitch. They've got Julian Custer. He's a right-handed pitcher with a 1.95 ERA. And Adam Vandenberg, 1.97 ERA. Another guy that, dude, if they get a guy on the mound that, gives up 2 earned runs, Francis Parker wins because they never hardly get shut out. They're always on base, always scoring runs, and they got guys shoving over here. And
never getting shut out seems like a solid plan.
Solid plan. If the Padres could just remember that, that would help. And then Diesel Hernandez,
he's going to not sneak some shade in there.
He's a really important part of that team. Big right-handed hitter, pitcher. Like you said, I think, we need to highlight why Parker's going to be not only good this year, but good in a couple years. And they've got some really young players. Diesel's one of their and the reason for his name is because he's an absolute tank. The guy looks like a freaking linebacker. So just remember that. If you picture Diesel on a field, he's enormous.
Running downhill straight through your face.
Exactly.
Sweet.
There's my game balls. Parker, Montgomery. Congrats to you guys on a fantastic year. Let's keep it rolling.
Bodie, have we gone to you yet for game balls?
No, but I have several, including a couple that were mentioned. But I'll start with Jonas Silverstein from El Camino in their series against Ramona last week. 7 hits, including a double, triple, and a home run. Tommy mentioned Talon Gardini, specifically his complete game shutout against University City, struck out 14, a really impressive sophomore left-hander for the Patriots, a team who they're still in contention for the league title, 2 more games against Christian this week. Gabe Camacho from La Costa Canyon hit a 2-run home run, and then he pitched the final 3 innings of their no-hitter last week against Torrey Pines for the Mavericks. Brady Dawkin from Rancho Bernardo, complete game shutout, struck out 7 to help Rancho Bernardo beat their rival Poway 1-0. Jackson Bush from Santa Fe Christian threw a 1-hitter against Classical Academy on Tuesday in their 5-0 win. Liam Herrera, San Marcos Jr. third baseman, hit a walk-off home run against Carlsbad. That was his 8th home run of the season. The home run race is really heating up. I'll have an update at the end of this week on that. And then Adrian Herrera from Montgomery, no-hit Eastlake, struck out 9, and that clinched the league title for Montgomery. So a huge win for them. And they have the entire week off to reset. So Montgomery's a team I'm looking at to make a playoff run.
Playoffs start a week from today, week from tomorrow. We're what?
I believe from Tuesday, so a week from yesterday.
I have about 37 trillion playoff brackets open right now.
Yeah, and there'll be some play-in games.
Can I just say, look, let's transition into this. Wow. Ay, que bonita. The Scorebook Live websites brackets are so nice. Make sure you guys all go check those out. Wanted to throw out my first game ball to La Jolla High School girls beach volleyball. They won over the weekend the Division II championship, so they are technically the first ones ever in San Diego section history to be crowned girls beach volleyball CIF champions. Later that day, Cathedral Catholic won the Division I championship, so congratulations to them as well. Kind of interesting. It's they're adding it as an enrollment-based division system. So it's going to function kind of like golf is, where it's not with the rest of the sports in terms of the mobile up and down divisions. So at least for now, I guess we immediately flip into dynasty ? Will La Jolla and Cathedral win all of them ever? Because there's no moving up or moving down. Somewhat jokes there, but in real seriousness, it's exciting to see CIF adding new sports. And I think girls beach volleyball in Southern California is excellent to have because the talent for the ones and twos on those teams that for both the championships, awesome. It really is. Yeah, Tommy, we can do a girls lax top 10. Let's do this. I'll give everybody open division brackets for everything right now because boys lacrosse playoffs. Here we go. These start mañana, Thursday, May 12th. Torrey Pines and San Marcos is the 1-8. SFC LCC is the 4-5. Grossmont and Cathedral Catholic are the 3-6. Poway and Bishops are the 2-7. On the girls lacrosse championship sides, La Jolla, numero uno. Hopefully you guys will start to recognize a consistent theme here that La Jolla is turning into a dominant powerhouse the moment that they make a new hire in their ranks that will be revealed someday. La Jolla and Poway, they're the 1-8 seed. This is, again, the girls' open division volleyball or lacrosse. 4-5 is Cathedral Catholic Granite Hills. I will just point out there that Granite Hills stands out as the lone East County representative on this side, the way that Grossmont did on the guys' side. This 3-6 game is Scripps Ranch, San Marcos, and the 2-7 is the Surf Bowl, or whatever they call that. Forgive me for not remembering that trophy's name. Right, Bodie, Tommy, anyone remember the name of that trophy? It's got
the Beach Bowl?
Beach Bowl. Yeah, see, I knew it was something like that. Let's see, what else do we got? I think that's, we got boys volleyball. Let me dial up some boys volleyball brackets to see what we got going on. I forget where we're at in the open division. I think we're at finals now, yes? No. We got Cathedral already into the finals, and it looks like Westview and Sage Creek are going to duke it out tomorrow in the consolation game. All the remainder of the brackets can be found at Scorebook Live's website, Scorebook Live's app. I don't know why I said website, so weird. Stumbled over that one mentally. But go check them out. Bodie, are you going to be able
You're
to
back
be
in like 2015 with the word website.
Website, yeah. No, well, okay, yeah. I could well, just because
www.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's where
HTTP
site. Yeah, I didn't know where to. I don't know where my brain was going specifically with that one. That is what you need to check out, though, because there is a ton of really good stuff happening through all of these different brackets. Those were just the division, or those are just the open division brackets. There were divisions 1, 2, 3, and 4 for most of those. So please go check out them. Go support those teams. Bodie, I'm sure, will have updates on where everyone can find all that information, scores, results, highlights, photos, write-ups at Scorebook Live. Guys, before we get to Dave's Dingers, I did want to throw out Dave had started it a little bit, OLI and or teams that we like. Are there any bandwagons that we need to jump on right now before the playoffs are here? I hear some Hoover stats being thrown out for game balls. I hear Bodie likes Granite. Is anybody willing 1 week out from playoffs to either lay stake to a dark horse team or proclaim someone a front runner in any playoff?
Does Cathedral count as a dark horse?
If you want to, this is up to how you.
That's fair.
All right.
All right, count that one for me.
They're 5 games under 500, so that would make sense.
Okay, so Cathedral is one. And this doesn't have. This can be group consensus or individual acclamation. Anybody else that we need to get out there right now?
I mentioned my guys. Maybe Grossmont. I mean, Grossmont had a big win. Like Bodie said, they had a big win against Santana. So, I mean, we know that Grossmont can win. They've just played a lot of tough games. They have lost some tough ones, so the record's not showing. But, maybe a Grossmont gets hot at the end of the year here.
Yeah, there's two I look at: Steel Canyon and Westview, both teams that played in very good leagues. They're both in this last week trying to fight for one of the last buys there in Division I, get that first round bye. But I think Steel Canyon and Westview are two teams I'm looking at that can make a really deep run in D1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deal. Dingers is what we have left.
Yeah,
Yes?
before I start, I'm excited to announce that the hashtag Nick Cook hashtag that we did,
Yes, Nick Cook. Did we get? Has he gotten an offer?
he signed
He is
with
committed.
Long Beach State.
Let's go!
So it was all due to our Twitter hashtag.
Woo!
Ding, ding. Congrats, buddy. Been a long time coming, but
You're
just
not
wanted-
serious though, right?
Well, probably.
You're not going to say that Long Beach State actually saw. Did Long Beach State see our tweet?
Of course they didn't.
Okay, deal. I was
But it was
because
the
Dave, you got to know there are people in the Twitter sphere in San Diego high school sports that claim that their accounts do get kids directly leading to offers. So
Yeah,
I want to
well,
make the disclaimer that
I
we are
think it was
saying that
just
as a joke and not as a legitimate
positive
claim.
vibes all around.
Yes.
Everyone rooting for guys in San Diego
Yes.
to do well, and ultimately, he hit his 9th home run this week.
Let's
so,
go.
Now he's tied for second in the county with Jake Bold, who's also got 9, Grant MacArthur at 9. So this race is really tight now. Also need to highlight Liam Herrera. He's at 8.
It's out of here.
Nico Newhan at Maranatha Christian. He's got 8 dingers. He definitely deserves to be on Dave's dingers. Jordan Mahan's at 8. Kobe Kiesling officially shattered the school record. He is now at 8 home runs over at Sage Creek. And, I mean, to round out the last 2, we've got Benjamin Harr at Helix, who, I think Helix is a team that we might hear of, too. They've got a couple guys that have been really hitting well. Damari Woods hit a bomb in the last game. And like I said, River Diaz de Leon for Grossmont. He also hit another bomb along with Baron Zamora.
It's out of here.
Baron Zamora hit a grand slam against Santana. No cheapies for that guy. No wall scrapers. Only moonshots. Only ham shots.
It's out of here.
Is that what Tommy said earlier?
How many noises are we rotating right now?
Like 4 or 5.
All of them.
I love it.
It's the one segment that we've ever actually produced for.
Yeah. You like Dave
what's the
Dingers
Yankees
too,
announcer again?
I know who you're
John
talking.
Sterling.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get the
let's
John
let the
Sterling accidental home run calls on there.
Yeah.
For next time. I think he's had 4 this year that he thought were home runs that weren't.
Deal.
All right, that's my list.
That's it.
The intern said I got nothing more.
Usually when the intern's butt arrives on, and I'm not going to put this on. I want to put this on the poll. I'm not going to put this on the poll, but I want to put this on the poll just misleadingly as clickbait. But usually when the intern's butt is on camera, is it time to call it a show?
Intern officially ended my
You might
dinger
get some
segment.
Interesting responses.
Hey, I got Bodie to laugh actually at that though. I'm okay with it then. Eliciting a laugh from Bodie de Silva over an inappropriate
Gonna get a lot of
poll.
people to tell themselves with that poll.
Are we gonna say over under on a certain person liking it? Deal. Alrighty, folks. Thanks for tuning in. A lot of great stuff happening in high school sports this week. Make sure you check everybody out. Bodie is at SD Preps on Twitter, on Instagram, and on the freeway. He also works for at SB Live CA. Make sure you download the Scorebook Live app. Like we said, thank you also to the U.S. Marines for their sponsorship. You can follow Tommy at Real Tommy Morris. Dave is at DR Player Development. Anything we missed this week, guys, or are we ready to get out of here?
Playoffs time, baby.
Adios. We'll talk to you guys
See
for
ya.
a playoff edition next week.